Emily Amen, and today I will be giving a discussion on controlling as well as open book management. And I do apologize if there's some background noise. I'm doing this in my hotel lobby, so you'll have to bear with me. So hopefully it's not too loud. Controlling what it is. Essentially, every business has a plan, like we've been discussing this whole quarter, and to be able to have these plans, you need a layout on essentially how to get from point A to point B, and how to like we said, get there and have your roadmaps along the way. So that is where controlling, having an understanding of what could happen and a base of underlying of exactly what it is you would like to have, which is what controlling comes into play. So basically it's the managers having this process of being able to monitor exactly what is going on in their business, from the financial end to the employees, and basically seeing if they are growing and moving forward, and if not, being able to understand and make those corrections as they come. So that's why it's so important, because if you have just this plan on how to get there, and not really the steps it takes in between, and being able to understand when things are going wrong and being able to switch it to ultimately progress. And that's what a lot of companies may have difficulties with, is understanding that what they're doing isn't working, or even being one step ahead to be able to plan for change with either the competitors, with innovation, and everything that goes into business. So there are new ways of controlling. There is the old traditional ways, which we'll discuss, and ultimately there's a lot of focus on who is responsible for this, because it's employees that are doing it, but ultimately it is leadership that is responsible for the controlling. They're the ones that are, that's their goal, their main purpose on being there, is to make sure that everything is going as planned and in a positive direction. So the old way of was called structural contingency theory, and basically this derived from back in the day when there was all the factory work and automobile works, and so they were just booming with business, and so they had to keep cranking out all these products. Well, then growing, well, then come to find out that there are other needs that need to be met besides just product control and how much they were successfully creating, and that was understanding that there's other importance in their industries, as far as their employees, making sure that they have a good work environment, labor regulations, good management. There's product guidelines and regulations to follow. So it's extremely structured, just kind of like the factory line work is. And that relates to vertical structure, each section having what they were responsible for. And now we are moving into more of a new age, new way of thinking. I think a lot of it has to do with the change of employees in the work environment, bringing in the millennials and the Gen X. Typically, they are looking now for more of a positive work environment. They're more likely to take a job that pays less, as far as if there's other benefits involved, such as employee empowerment, seeing moving up in the company, and just enjoying what they do. And that's really how my management style works, and so it's been really fun learning about all these new theories and new structures that I can use to incorporate it and continue to evolve and grow. And I can't wait to see kind of what continues out of it. I think it's definitely moving in a positive direction. There might be a little bit of entitlement that comes along with it, as far as, finding that fine line between, this is a job, you do have to respect your management, but as well, I mean, we spend so much time, and you're more likely to be creative and move forward if you actually have a passion and enjoy what you're doing. So that's where the new age has been moving to the team-based structure. Technology is a huge part of it as well. But companies are expanding and moving into global markets, and that's where we have to use that technology and that groupthink, and being able to communicate with someone that is halfway across the world, being able to work together with those obstacles in hand. And the team-based structure also resonates as far as understanding that the original philosophy of two heads are better than one, but really incorporating that. A lot of companies are doing like team building exercise, and really focusing on getting to know each other, knowing your leadership, and being able to work well and create a positive outcome. Along the same lines as kind of the new way and the employee empowerment approach, comes the financial end of it. And there is, it's fairly new. It's called open book management. What this is it was originally came from John Case about a little over 25 years ago. But there also was a company that utilized this before he did, and that was Springfield Manufacturing Corporation in the 80s. And so he kind of coined this concept of opening up, it's essentially what it says, opening up the books, showing, laying all their financial information out there in their books for employees to see and to share this information. Which the reason behind it is to have your employees feel that employee empowerment, feel that they are important, and from any position, understanding, exactly what is coming from it, which is, very common related with organizational change and growing and evolving as a company. Very people-centered. That's the reason behind doing it, is to, like I said before, have that employee empowerment, making them feel more than just clocking in their 8 to 5 scheduled shift, and understanding really what, why that is what they're doing, which is, before the how, which comes with change. People are reluctant with change, and a lot of times employees don't understand the real reasons that things are shifting, which is another really great reason for open book management, to really see why they have to do these changes financially, and being able to lay it out and visually see it before they can really understand how we're going to do it. But essentially, the open book management isn't beneficial if the company isn't training them on how to understand and how to read these documents, because for me, I hate the financial end of businesses. So if my company would be like, all right, hey Emily, we are going to let you look at the books, like, here you go, odds are I'm not going to spend my time to look over it, because I probably won't really understand and understand what it is I'm looking at, and how I can change specifically what I'm doing to help those numbers increase. So there is not one set approach on open book management. There's not this is the right way, then there's no other way. So just to understand that each company is different, and being able to be flexible with such, as well as making sure the information, like I said, is relevant to the employee and it's important to them. Keeping it updated as well. There's no point in doing that if you start slacking and aren't showing relevant information. And then, like we said before, making sure that the employees understand. Another, or something that's we need to understand is that it takes time for this to benefit the open book management system. You can't just show them the finances and expect in a week that all of a sudden productivity level is going to change and all the numbers are going to drastically increase. And the stakes, as well as with stakeholders, them being able to have that access to it. Management has a huge play, making sure that they are, incorporating the importance of the open book management system and why it's relevant. And then it all comes down to trust. Having employees trust the company, trust their management, being able to see, especially if things are not doing well, they can see that and understand that their company wants them to see it and work through it with them. So some downsides to it, like we talked about, are it takes time. Companies may only give certain information, not following up, giving the relevant information, not rewarding. There's no point for them to do it if they're not. We still are humans. We want to feel appreciated. So, not really seeing a reward from it, there's not a whole lot of reason for employees to do it. Which can come anywhere, but that's, leadership issues as well to focus. A company that does this really well is New Belgium Brewery. Their employees actually are stakeholders. It's company owned, so they have their open book management. They are well known as one of the best companies to work for as far as employee empowerment, and they've really found that it's made employees passionate. They feel like owners. The culture is so positive, and they have that sense of ownership. From down to employees that are under year 1 to people that have worked there for 25 years. So overall, controlling, being able to keep what you are doing in line, being able to progress, being able to understand when there's a reason for change, and open book management is, great to have employees understand what it is they're doing. Thank you.